Hello and welcome to the CNBC-TV18's Mumbai studio. I'm Sonal Bhutra and you're watching MF Corner. Well, today on the show, we are going to talk about new KYC norms. They are concerning a lot of investors. Issues that have come up to fore includes large number of new investments not going through, SIPs getting bounced, and also redemptions not happening. As per the new rules, which kicked in from April 1, make it mandatory for AMCs to ensure name and date of birth of an investor, which should be the same as PAN cards or IT records as well. To discuss this and more, we have with us Swarup Mohanty, the Vice Chairman and Chief Executive Officer at Mirae Asset Investment Managers. And a little later, we'll also talk about investing in value and growth funds with Hemant Rustagi, CEO at Wise Invest. But let's get to the first and a very topical news piece that we have to talk about. Swarup, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us today. And you know, this has been ongoing for a month now. The rules kicked in. There were reminders before that. But a huge pile of investors, they are still struggling here. What has the industry feedback been? How many of the investors in terms of amount have not been able to see their SIPs go through, especially for Mirae as well specifically? What amount have you seen getting impacted because of this?
Sonal, thank you so much for having me on this very important issue. We just made public our data and we're starting bottoms up. Our main objective is to see that redemptions are processed at the first place. So out of around almost 70 lakh folios, we have 76,500 folios which are on hold. So we're working overtime with them. I must also commend all the distributors who are chipping in to help us, all the call centers, KFIN, who are calling people, and it's work in progress as we speak. Oh. I mean, the first objective would be to clean the on-hold data.
Okay, so that's a big number. So is it a general awareness issue that investors don't have? What went wrong according to you here? What are the conversations in the industry right now?
Let's see, Sonal, there are two types of people. One who is a law follower, one who is a lawmaker. Now, once there is a law to it, our job is to go about implementing it. And our job is not to question why, what. It's up to the lawmaker to instruct that. And I'm pretty sure there is, and when you speak about it, there is a genuine reason for that. It's a very simple thing. And I tweeted about it 2 days ago. Some people liked it. Of course, some people have got back to me, not in a very nice way. It's all fair because, you know, assimilating data, putting data in place is not an easy job. With all due respect to that part, it is true that all our financial identity should have one name, and the KYC or the re-KYC has to be updated as per the new law. So when you go about doing it, and sometimes the servers are not working because of the large numbers that are hitting the kind of servers, the kind of pain that is felt is somehow understood. But at the same time, if it is the new law, it has to be done is a very humble submission.
Okay. But, you know, the fact of the matter is a lot of SIPs are getting bounced. There are redemptions which are stopped as well. Do you think this is something which will impact the SIP number for the month of April?
Sonal, I'll wait for the numbers to speak and then take a call on that. I mean, see, let's look at it in reality. If you are continuing, if you're not on hold, the rest can continue to invest in the funds that they are invested in. The issue is investing in a new scheme. Now, I would assume that the bulk of the portfolio would be in a category where you are repurchasing the same funds. If that is not, then one has to relook the portfolio at a very different level. That's what the reality is. I mean, I'll wait for the industry numbers to give my comments on how much is the stoppage and what is the real impact.
Okay, yes, of course, those numbers haven't come out, but the general idea was that maybe it could see an impact, and we have been seeing record high numbers when it comes to SIPs as well, right? So what would April look like in that case? Have there been any conversations, Swarup, of the industry with AMFI or AMFI with SEBI? Because sources just did suggest to us that AMFI is in conversation with SEBI. Do you think there's still time to change or modify some of these rules to make life a little easy?
I think that is up to the regulator to decide. Our job is to go by what has been handed out by the regulator. Yes, there is in a number of conversation which goes in from AMFI to them, especially our ops committee works more important. I mean, what people need to know that there are enough people on the AMC side and n number of people from the regulator side who is working overnight to come to a conclusion on the data. First was, you know, getting the data in place, because we've seen discrepancy of data with one RTA and the other. All that has happened, but somehow, you know, it's coming to a conclusion where there is a kind of sanity between both sides, and now it's up to the implementation, would be my guess. I have no information about any extension of rates at dates. At Mirae, we are going as per the assumptions that the date given is what it will stick to.
Okay. You know, Swarup, there were a lot of tweets. Of course, social media is where we see the biggest impact. That's where people come out and talk about their problems. One of the tweets suggested that CAMS Online issued a communication to fund houses to not take standalone KYC. That is, the KYC form should be accompanied by a fresh purchase. And this is something that the AMCs have been told as well. Is there something like that happening from the RTAs?
No, I speak for KFIN. There is nothing like this from KFIN. If anybody is stuck for any of this thing, I would welcome them to come to on our website. We have opened our website for everything. Please note that all AMCs have this sticker on the front page of the AMC on the website. And any issues, you can call us up. The entire community will be there to help you. I don't think, at least for KFIN, there is nothing of this sort.
Okay, all right. So nothing that is happening from KFIN side. We'll have to get that clarification for CAMS, because that's what one of the tweets suggested. Can you give us a sense of what next? Do you think the only way out of this is compliance, and there's nothing else that any investor can do, and that's what fund houses are working on now?
Sonal, again, people will not like what I say. It's our money at the end of the day, and our job is to safeguard our financial identity to the fullest. It's like, me doing a house sale deed with my name wrong. It doesn't work like that. So I think it's a process of getting aware of our data. I mean, I've gone through that process of re-KYC as we speak. My parents have put in place. So all of us have gone. It'll end with, data being cleaned up. For us, AMCs also, it's a great wake-up call. I mean, we could have done this maybe a month or two back, I think is a reality. I mean, why was the data there just last week is something which I'm also questioning myself is a reality. But I feel at the end of the day, we will see a very different kind of data formation. More important, I think it is cleanup of all data, and then finally, probably the cleanup of my financial data also. My name will figure in the right manner everywhere. And if it's not, then I have to work hard on cleaning that up, because it's in my selfish interest that I get that in place. Now it's up to people to understand the importance of that. If there is a name difference, then the money coming back to the bank might itself get rejected is a reality.
You know, Swarup, that is about people with Indian citizenship. NRIs have been facing a problem as well. Most of them don't have Aadhars. Do you think that is something where some relaxation is needed? What does the rule exactly say there?
Sonal, I do agree that this is a sore point, and I'll leave it to AMFI and SEBI to sort that out. What you're pointing out is a genuine issue. I clearly agree that, getting that data in place, especially some of the identity papers, are difficult for NRIs. I just hope something can be done on that. Will be my humble request.
Okay, all right. So you're saying that this was needed. It's just that the implementation hasn't been so smooth so far. But let's see what happens next. But Swarup, thank you so much for joining us today with your take, because there's been so much discussion around this. So we needed someone from the industry to talk about it as well. Thanks a lot for joining in.
Just 1 minute is that we gave 76,500 people are working very hard to clean it up. And that's something which I must commend all the entire environment on that whole thing.
Okay, all right. So more power to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, all right. On that note, we'll slip into a short break. On the other side, we'll discuss value and growth funds with Hemant Rustagi, Chief Executive Officer at Wise Invest. Stay tuned for that.